to another no-cost holiday tutorial. If you're like me, you have a very hard time finding Christmas cards that really express what you want to say about the holidays. So I take it upon myself to make my own Christmas cards. All I needed for this tutorial was a simple meat packing tray. They're the same meat packing trays that come from any place, really, that you get meat or other things. If you work in the school system, you can get lots of these. They serve breakfast on them. I cut off the edges of the meat packing tray. I started off with a drawing that I thought really expressed the way that I felt about Christmas. I was inspired by my recent trips to burlesque shows and friends of mine and other experiences that I've had. So I did a drawing of the same size as the meat packing tray. I trimmed away the extra part of the meat packing tray that curves up. This is known as printmaking, by the way, but it's a very low cost kind of printmaking. After I did my drawing, I simply taped it to the top of the meat packing tray like this, and using a sort of dull pencil, I traced over the lines, pressing down hard enough to create an indented line in the foam. The indented line is what will print as what's called negative space. So let's do a print so you can see what it looks like. Now those of you who know about printmaking know that you have all sorts of fancy materials and inks, but I'm actually going to just use acrylic paint and see how that goes. There are special printmaking inks that are nice if you have some lying around. I ran out. So I'm going to move on and see how well acrylic paint does. I don't have a printmaking tray, so I've simply covered a board with wax paper, thinking that that's good enough to keep the paint from being absorbed into the surface. One thing that I do have is a brayer. If you don't have a brayer, it is possible to put the ink onto the plate with a brush. It may not go on as smoothly, but it is not impossible to do. I'm just going to spread out this paint using the brayer, and it seems like it's working pretty well. It's a kind of an old paint, but it's called heavy body, so it's very similar to printing ink. And then I'm going to come over to my plate. Well, this is black paint on a black tray, so it might be a little hard to see how the lines are going to come out, but if you wait just a moment, you'll be able to see it. I have some paper already pre-cut. The difference between the paint and the ink is the paint will start drying very quickly. So now I'm going to put my paper on top. I'm going to rub really hard around all the edges, and then I peel it back. Peel it back, peel it back, peel it back. The paint's already starting to dry. You got to move fast. And there is my Christmas card of the burlesque kind of woman. Another no-cost holiday greeting card for a pinup lover, and you can just add your message and Sharpie marker later.